One of the greatest lessons learned in the disaster field office is to appreciate your everyday heroes. I learned that lesson after Hurricane Rita. You remember Hurricane Rita? It's 2005. It was the strongest recorded hurricane in history. Category 5. Much stronger than its sister, Hurricane Katrina, just 2 weeks before. Of course, it would be knocked out of the record books by its big sister, Hurricane Wilma, 2 weeks later. And this storm was bearing down on a small hospital near Beaumont, Texas. The hospital had to be evacuated, and all of the employees had to go with their patients to care for them at the bigger hospital. And they left with just one small bag, all of their worldly possessions. Remember, their homes would probably be destroyed by this much larger storm. Hurricane Katrina had just wiped out New Orleans. When they returned home, carried back by the very ambulances that had driven them away, these employees were met by a standing ovation of their colleagues who were already at the hospital. Imagine that. Arriving to work to a standing ovation. When's the last time you arrived at work and received a standing ovation? You want to drive the people you work with nuts? Tomorrow, when they get to work, you give them a standing ovation. Now, you heard in my introduction that I've been a professional speaker for over 20 years. And believe it or not, in our profession of professional speaking, we actually have conventions. That's right. We put 5,000 loudmouths like me in a room, tell them to sit down, be quiet, and listen to one guy on stage. And in our conventions, we regularly remind ourselves of the great privilege that we have to do what we do. To travel the country, stand up here, and speak before experts and professionals such as yourselves, and impart some small nugget of information. And if we do a lousy job, I mean we really stink up the place, we still get polite applause. They might be clapping because we're leaving, but every time we come to work, somebody applauds. When's the last time you received a standing ovation? Now, one of the things you were not told is that I'm a member of the 9/11 families. I lost a cousin in Tower 2 and a colleague in the Pentagon. I've spent the last 5 years crossing the country teaching disaster preparedness, in addition to having the privilege of speaking to folks such as yourselves. On behalf of them, on behalf of a grateful nation, I ask you to stand for a moment and join me in giving you a much overdue and well-deserved standing ovation. Thank you.